All right, 3:34 here on a Tuesday afternoon, a cruise day edition of the program is run literally today at my house. Appreciate that. Terry Coleman on location at White Brown Smiles out on O'Neill Court in the Northeast. Bless
Non-perishable
you.
food items, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I was going to say, before we do anything else, let's explain to people why you are also on location today. It is a very important cause.
It's not just for my dental care, which is obviously very important for the 6 teeth I have left. We are here for, again, November is obviously, a month where we try to, look at the hunger issues we have in our country in the Midlands. And this year it seems like it's even more advanced than typically we see. So we're asking you, please come on by here at White Brown Smiles on O'Neill Court, 24 O'Neill Court. Come by, drop non-perishable food items for us. Anything's appreciated. You got one can, you got a whole case, whatever. Just anything will help out families in the Midlands during the month of November and the holiday season to help feed the folks who need the most.
Good stuff. And again, let me see. Do you have the address on you, or should I?
At 224 O'Neill Court.
There you go.
Let me double check. I will double check.
Okay.
I mean, I'm old GPS. What can I say?
Something like that.
Yeah, it's 224 O'Neill Court.
All right. There you go. Good stuff. So help out, especially those of you that are out that way. All right, Brew. Gamecocks back home. I suppose there's still a slight chance of a bowl opportunity if there are 5 and 7 slots, but that's not what you're playing for at this point. More than anything, you're playing for some pride. And you got 2 in-state opponents that are going to be very motivated to come into Williams-Brice and get you. Coastal heavy underdog, 23-point favorite is Carolina, and I think the computer says 96% chance to win the game. We'll worry about the other game next week. But is that quarterback out?
I know he got banged up in the last game.
Yeah, but, they were on a 4-game win streak till the other day, right?
Score a lot of points, and they're definitely now they're looking at it. If I'm a Coastal player, I'm blood and water, and I'm thinking, hey, this is the time to go into B, and a place that probably didn't recruit me, didn't want me to be on this squad, and I wasn't good enough, yada yada yada, and I'm gonna go out there and prove it. So cannot sleep on Coastal. Especially if they wear their glow in the dark. Well, it's gonna be day games.
It'll blend. It'll be into 4.
I do like what Chance is doing over there.
Yeah. 4:15.
So it's can't sleep on it. But we have 2 games. Battle of the State, trying to again. But you said pride. This is pride for yourself. This is pride for your team. Pride for your brother next to you. To go out there and at least coming, especially for the seniors, you're trying to get them to go out. It's a military game too, which are always cool. And it's also pride for you Gamecock fans out there to show that we are the best fans. Not let these guys high and dry and go out there and salute our military, salute our seniors, and give them a good showing the way they should be. Yes, it's the season we didn't want, the season no one wanted, but at the same time, I was part of an 0-11 season. You were there for every freaking game. So let's do the same thing. Let's go out there and cheer them on, and hopefully have a fun Saturday.
A couple quick things, and we'll throw something at you. First of all, Samard Collier is a potential season knee injury. Status is uncertain. I believe he left the game on crutches, so we'll see where that goes for the quarterback situation at Coastal. 2, guess which FBS team in the state of South Carolina has the best won-loss record?
I think Steel and
6-4, baby. Yep, 6-4, which is interesting. And like Jay said, they were on a 4-game heater. They lost that game to Georgia Southern. Real quick, talk about, would Coastal Carolina absolutely be smelling blood in the water? When you lose a game like South Carolina did on Saturday, again, if you're Coastal, hey, they're down, they're wounded, they're vulnerable. Let's go in there and try to steal one. Yeah, we're 3-touchdown underdogs. Who cares? How do you? I know how you do it because you're a machine. But give the advice to these players on how do you flush, which is a historic loss, because you got to flush it and move forward. Because you don't want this loss to also lose you 2 more games.
It really depends. I think you've heard what Coach said. They had a good, I think it's every week. We had a great practice on, and we watch film and do that. And it's, but it's tough. This is one that you want to flush it. Yeah, I'd like I say it's the whole memory of a goldfish type deal. That's true, like play to play. When you have a bad play, you don't want it to, go into 2 bad plays to a loss. You don't wanna make it 2 losses. But at the same time, you let this freaking motivate you. Don't flush it. Let this hurt. Let it come in there 'cause, the flushing is not working. Let's let it hurt a little. Let it linger in your soul, and when you go out there, you release all the demons, man. That's why this is the best game in the world. The first play of the game, you go out there and knock the crap out of somebody and be like, "All right, let's this is it's the only thing you could not get in trouble for, get arrested for, when you actually go and hit somebody. Unless you're a cop in the the stadium in A&M. What a jerk move that's
guy.
the word that came out of my mouth. Jerk move that guy did. But no, it is. Why not go out there and just you have to in your mind, your body, soul, and just dominate. Every freaking snap, I want to bury something, and you have to have that mentality right now, or you're lost.
When you look at the second part of what you said, which was the flushing isn't working, so let it motivate you. Shane said today in his press conference, we had a great practice on Sunday. It was obviously a rough flight. There was rough team meetings, and then we get out there and everybody feels good.
It kind of scares me.
Okay, why?
I think today someone should have fought somebody.
Okay.
I mean, they shouldn't have been, and they could have. And I'm just saying, if your coach is great, yeah, we're all happy, joy. No, you just got it in the record book in the wrong way. There should be there should be at least a scuffle every practice anyway. This should be one that somebody's like, we're pissed off. We're going out there, and it's not. I'm not mad at you, the guy I'm lined up. I'm mad at myself. I'm mad at everything. I'm trying now. I'm going too hard. Now you're mad because you're going too hard. No, let's go. Let's get into a fight a little bit. And then we break off. We slap hands and we go at it again. Maybe that is what it's a good practice. I don't know if that's what happened
I
right
don't know.
now.
Yeah,
That's what my idea of a good practice right now is. We are going at each other. We're at a breaking point. Are we going to be the team that loses the way out, or we win the way out? Who's fighting?
Yeah.
Hey, Ryan, to your point about look, last year this team had some veterans and some alphas, and we saw how that went. But you always bring it up, dude. I'm so much with you. Football is a tough, rough, intense game. You need tough, rough, intense people, and some of those people might not be the nicest people in the world, especially when they cross the lines. Like you said in practice, sometimes it's got to be uncomfortable. Sort of like Jack Nicholson said in A Few Good Men, you can't handle the truth. Basically, sometimes you don't know how the sausage is made. Got to be an edge of meanness. With the Ravens back in the day when they had those guys, remember? How many of those guys? Ask me how those guys would react to blowing a lead like that.
They would, yeah. Whose fault it was? Defense guys been yelling at offense guys. Offense guys been yelling at defense guys. Now I guarantee that team, the defense guys, have been critical of the offense guys. Until Orlando Brown got involved and they all backed away. But that was the meanest game I've ever seen. Ever.
Yes.
Yes. But it's all Terry. But everybody's different. Like there's guys that are playing. They can legitimately survive and be great on just their athletic ability and what they can do on a football field. I wasn't one of those guys. I had to fight, crawl, scrape my way through, and everything I did. So, like I had to have that mentality. If you have a guy that has the athletic ability and has the mentality that he wants to absolutely figuratively murder somebody every play, that's when you find the dog. That's when you find someone different, and that's what we got to find. Who's able to do that? Who's going to be there? Because Gamecock football is not going to get the best every time. You got to get guys that want to battle every play, and like it's not me. I think a guy like we missed the Depot.
Yes.
And I've been talking to Depot a couple times the last couple of weeks. We missed that guy that he's putting up his numbers are great combine, putting up bench press numbers, all that stuff. He's a fighter. He wants to run through you every play. And that motivates the rest of the guys around him. He makes a play, and everyone's like, all right, now it's my turn. That's what she needs. It's too late in the season, but we have guys like that. They feed off each other.
Well, I think back to guys like Swearinger and Hampton.
Yeah.
Like Vic Hampton wanted to fight you every play.
And I think DQ's one of those guys that's just it's not for some reason it's not translating out there. I think he makes plays, and I feel like guys around him, and he's one of the, but he hadn't had like that moment. It's absolutely murder someone.
We'll come back, get start bench drop today. Choices for Lane Kiffin seems to be narrowed down now. Start bench drop alphabetical over Florida, LSU, Mississippi. Your starter, where you think Lane should be coaching next year. Not will be, what you think he should be doing. That's your start bench drop for today. We'll come back and wrap it up with Bruise Day after this.
Now, we always talk about when you want something done in your home, you want it done by an expert, someone who knows what they're doing, someone who understands the ins and outs where others won't, especially when you're getting things done for your home, whether it's new appliances, a new tub, new bathroom, accessories, lighting, fixtures, plumbing, whatever the case. You want to go to people who know what they're doing. This guy just took a part-time job at the Home Depot to, help buy beer money for the beach. You got folks at Record Showrooms, formerly the Nest, 803-978-2025. Call and say, look, here's what I'm thinking about doing with my home. And they'll say, let us put you in touch with our expert in that department. And they will. You have the conversation, what you're looking for, your budget, your vision, and they'll bring you in. You walk up a beautiful showroom, there's so many options there, and then you get it done and you make it happen. And you're happy. Call an expert, 803-978-2025. Kreger Showrooms in the Vista.
All right, welcome back in. Final few minutes of our first hour. Bruise Day here. Ryan Shout out to our buddy Jim Lalamandir, who's listening.
OG paint. I'm sitting right next to you.
Yeah,
Lala,
yeah,
good job.
yeah. Jim did that for us. I guess we got that this summer.
This is a cool room you got here with all the dead stuff and paintings and life size. Me.
We've got the life size knockoff Lego Ryan Brewer right under a globe. He looks like Atlas, but it is it's a life size Ryan.
It's close. It might be an inch taller.
He's a little tall. Well, I don't know. No, it's about right. What the helmet?
Yeah, with the helmet. He has a helmet.
What the helmet? What the helmet? But I'll send out a picture so people know what I'm talking about with the life size knockoff Ryan Brewer. Like, I don't know what company that actually is, but it was fun to put together.
I didn't get any NIL for that. So.
No, you did not. You did not.
You didn't get. Wait a minute. You didn't even get under the table. Wait. The statute of limitations is gone on this.
No, it's knockoff Lego
at all.
Yeah, but I'm going to go back at
knockoff Lego.
I think you should. Wow, you got nothing for that? Not even a case of beer?
Well, here's what Ryan does get paid to do. He gets paid along with his amazing crew to put fences in backyards or on campuses, just like the fence in my backyard that we can
cool. I can look
see.
out the window here and see the fence.
See the work.
That
I can look behind you and see it.
team
Over there.
did.
Yeah, right over there and see it. So
nice 4x4 privacy fence, wood privacy fence in his backyard. Some custom lattice work on the side behind me and the ornamental gate.
That's right.
So yeah, anything your heart desires, or if your wife, significant other's heart desires, we can do. Go to RyanBrewer.net, look at all our social. We can help you out with fencing, railings, columns, custom work, all shop stuff. We got now and stuff. Any Jay Phillips.
No, I don't have any in here. We need to get something outside.
Change that.
Yeah, I'll have it. It's about half sports and half other.
Yeah. But we can change that. But just RyanBrewer.net for any of your fencing needs. We'll take care of you.
RyanBrewer.net. You want to start bench drop real quick for Lincoln?
I think there's a no-brainer that he's with the he will be going LSU starting.
Start
LSU because the man of his word.
You believe he should be eligible?
No, I do not. I think he's doing a good thing in Mississippi.
Okay.
And just being there, and I think they do love him there.
They do.
Got it pretty easy.
It's not the money.
No,
it's not the money.
It's an ego thing, but it's
the opportunity and the I think. No, but Memphis isn't that far away. Yeah. And when you're making that kind of money, you know what you do? You get on a private plane and you go wherever the hell you
right.
go.
You can
or you can just build what you want in your own yard. Get that kind of scratch.
I would lean to start Mississippi. I really would, but I just when he talks, it's just like this doesn't. He doesn't. You never said I'm staying, but
a lot of people have said that. He's like, you're not saying you're staying.
The good old times right now. You go. What do you say that whole?
Yeah, we're having a great time. Yeah,
we're look back at this and say these are good old days.
Yeah.
Well, it's not wrong, don't you? I guess to be fair though, I mean, again, Elaine's doing the dance, right? I mean, you're being loved on by everybody, right? So, I mean, so let them all love on you. Fly your family to LSU to go swim in a pool, fly them to Florida so they can, go hang out at somebody's mansion, whatever. Hey, if everybody wants to wine you and dine you, go ahead and get wined and dined. Doesn't mean you're going there, right? Just saying.
Yeah, he's playing the game. He's playing the game.
Absolutely.
That salary just gets not creepy.
Yes, it does.
Skyrocketing up and up and up because where else you want to go, ex-wife? Yeah,
right.
You're right.
It is kind of interesting that the new wife and the ex-wife and the brother, the families moved to Oxford.
Oh, happy family.
Yeah, it's interesting. And Oxford is a small college.
Everybody's different, man. It's all perspective. He's making it work.
Yeah.
What do you want to see? We got a little over. What do you want to see early Saturday?
Absolute annihilation out there. I want just a team that's ramped up to show that these were good practices. They really are tight, committed team. And I think it's just from the kickoff to the end. And I'm nonstop. Just go through it, get some confidence going. And it's also getting some more play calling from Fury. Have some getting more work on their belt because there's again, this one's big. The next one's huge.
Right. Yeah, and we'll certainly get into more of that one next week. What's the Brewer family Thanksgiving plan?
We're out, man.
Okay.
Anytime it comes to games, we're here. Okay. So
that means people come south.
that means people come south.
But
It's, and hopefully the weather's nice as it is today. So that's yeah, I'm looking
it's gonna
forward to it.
it's
So
gonna get hot.
I get a couple turkeys going, and just I like to go on like Instagram stuff and see how people cook things like very strange
Yeah,
ways.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
try to copy it. I tried to mistake the other day.
I don't have a
It didn't
problem with
really
that.
work as well as I thought it was, but it was fun trying.
Hey, you gotta try. I like RyanBrewer.net, Ryan21 Brewer to follow along on Twitter. Happy early Thanksgiving.
Appreciate it.
Glad you came
Yeah.
by. Terry and I will
Appreciate you,
continue
man.
on. We got a lot of sound from Shane to get to throughout the course of the day. We'll talk about the CFP coming out tonight. Lots more to do as the post-game show rolls on.
CHW Cabinetry in Lexington with Star and her folks. And it's easy to go to chwcabinetry.com and look at what they do. Cabinetry, again, you want cabinetry in the kitchen, the dining room. Maybe there's a pantry. Maybe you want to put cabinets in the living room. I don't know. Maybe in a basement, in a bedroom, in a bathroom, outside, inside. Maybe you want cabinets on your roof. CHW Cabinetry will put cabinets anywhere you need them. They have the Spriggs photorealistic renderings that will start to finish. You get to watch the entire project happen to your satisfaction. Call 803-520-6837. Just meet with Star and the gang. Sit down, talk about what you're looking for, how much money you can spend, and they will make this a reality. 803-520-6837. Star and her folks at CHW Cabinetry. Give them a call. Quick check on the traffic. I-20 westbound. We have an accident after Monticello Road at exit 68. South Lake Drive at Highway 602 Flat Springs Road and Sunset Boulevard near I-26.
All right, 4 o'clock on a Tuesday. Welcome back in. Second hour of the post-game show rolling along. Yours truly working home for the foreseeable future. Terry Ford is at White Brown Smiles on O'Neill Court. And urging you, for those of you especially out that way, to bring some canned goods and non-perishables to help the food drives this time of year with Thanksgiving next week, food holidays. And again, it has been for a lot of folks a rougher year than typical in a lot of places. So do what you can to help out. We'll give you more details on exactly where Terry is and what's going on. But go ahead and gather up those canned goods. Again, was it 224 O'Neill Court? Does that sound?
224 O'Neill Court. You just it's right off of like what's it, two notch. Take two notch from Columbia.
Yep.
Take that exit. Take a right. It's just a couple minutes away. You get a ton of awareness in November. Trying to help folks out who really need the assistance more than ever this holiday season in 2025.
That's right. You can get to O'Neill Court from 2 Notch or Park Lane. Your choice. It's right there in the middle.
Look at you. Like you've lived here before.
Yeah. They used to have a Todd Moore down that way. They don't anymore, but they used to have like the northeast location of Todd Moore out that way.
They got this thing called a Sabaki restaurant right here. I don't know what it is, but I might have to go sample the food. I'm that kind of guy.
You really? Are you what you would call an adventurous food guy?
I'm not. I am not, man. I'm a food weasel. I am not adventurous. No, I am very boring when it comes to food. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
massively boring.
We need to get you.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
A few things.
I don't think we do, Jay. Hey, let me tell you something. I have ever since I've been with my girlfriend, I have tried things like, I don't know, avocados and guacamole and things that
I'm not really going to go there. I'm not going to say that's adventures. Not going to say that guacamole is adventurous.
Ready? Peppers. I've drank Dr. Pepper, but I've never eaten peppers. So yeah, I am not the most adventurous guy in the world when it comes to food. Family, I should be, because my family, my dad's side's from the hills of North Carolina. They would shoot and eat whatever was running through the yard. So, I mean, obviously they were adventurous.
I was going to say, so you've never had like rabbit?
Nope.
Or squirrel?
Nope. Oh, God. Well, there was that one night I was
not
drinking
like,
a lot.
I don't mean
really
like
hungry.
Well, no, I don't mean like
side of the road. You mean roadkill? You mean roadkill?
No, not the squirrels in your yard. There are people that actually eat like big fox squirrels that live out in the woods.
Never had one of those. Nope.
You can do that. You've had venison, right? So you
yes, I have. I've had venison.
Okay, but you're not a fan.
That. A little rough, a little tough for my taste when I've eaten it. A little rough.
Yeah, it can be. You gotta do it right. I don't discount that. That's fair. That's fair. My mom used to have a great marinade to soften it up just a little bit. But Reggie, our buddy Reggie says he knows that you've had possum. At least one.
I have.
Maybe you have not.
Reggie,
I don't know.
Tell me the story.
No, not Reggie. No, Reggie believes that you have.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I've had possum. I have not had like real live possum.
I can't say I've had possum. I can't say I've had possum.
I've never had.
I've had a few adventurous, but not.
So let's put it this way: if I've had
that would
possum,
be an adventure I would take.
No, probably neither. Look, I've eaten at some restaurants where I might have been eating something I didn't know I was eating. Hey, that could have happened. But as far as I know, I've never had possum. Okay, Reggie.
Well, anyway, we'll talk more about adventurous foods.
Real quick, what's the most adventurous thing you've eaten? Real quick.
I guess rattlesnake probably counts.
Were you in the desert? Were you hungry in the desert? You wrestled one?
I had it here. I've had
in
rabbit.
Your backyard?
No, I didn't catch it and eat it. Somebody else.
Okay, all right.
I don't know. I don't know if they farm raise those for the purposes of culinary needs. I don't know how that works.
I've heard a lot of farm raised things. A farm raised rattlesnake sounds pretty interesting.
I don't know if they're farm raising the rattlesnake.
Rattlesnake.
Rabbit,
was it free range? Was it rattlesnake free range?
Again, I couldn't tell you. I don't.
Did you like it? Did you like it?
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't
Okay.
bad.
All right.
And I've had. I mean, I've had all. I mean, I love venison. So I don't even count venison. To me, is not exotic. Uh, I mean, or like a goose. I've had elk. That's a little more exotic. That's a venison. It's just a bigger animal. That was good. Good. Trying to think of anything else. Nothing
Was there
crazy. I
was
mean,
there anything exotic you tried? Was there anything exotic you tried? You went, "Bleh."
um, probably. I'm trying to. I'll probably. I can't think of anything off the top of my head where I just didn't really like it. Like,
Okay.
ugh, I'm not
All
going
right.
to eat that again. There are things I don't like. But really, that's things like olives. Like I hate olives.
No, olives suck. Olives are awful. I ate squid once and I just went down with that.
Oh yeah,
Wasn't my
squid. No,
bag.
squid I like. Yeah, it's squid. I mean, I go to a sushi restaurant and I'll eat. Oh yeah,
I tried
or like
octopus
octopus.
once. I
Yeah,
wasn't down with
octopus
that
is
either.
good. Well, squid like
Uh,
calamari, like fried calamari. I'll eat. Hey,
it's a texture thing with me, man. That octopus, I tried it at a restaurant. I was just like, no, I'll
it's a
pass
little
again.
it's a little chewy. It is, but it's
Yeah,
good.
I'm a
I don't
texture
mind.
guy. Some textures just bug me.
I got you.
I just can't
That's
do
fine.
it. Can't do it.
Snail. I mean, I've eaten escargot a lot. I'm a big fan of snails. So
Well, I have a
listen,
lot of people I have a lot of friends who dig the
yeah.
escargot.
Listen, when it's roasted and butter, I don't. It's delicious.
I just like escargot when it's on the sidewalk in front of my house after a good rain.
Yeah, but hey, yeah, whatever you got to do. All right, there you go. Maybe we'll start bench dropping.
Maybe
Another
we'll
day.
do that one day.
Today's start bench drop is where you think Lane
Uh,
Kiffin should be coaching next season. Florida, LSU, Mississippi, alphabetical order is how we give them to you.
Now this was
Um,
pretty easy for me. How about you? Is this pretty easy for you?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, me.
I got mine. We'll do it
Yeah.
later. We'll do ours
Nope.
later in the show. But I got one. And yeah, it's not so bad. Um, couple of things here. First off, again, if you haven't heard, James Franklin, it is now official. He's put out a statement. Virginia Tech has put out a statement. They will officially announce James Franklin tomorrow morning up in Blacksburg. And Terry, I like this hire. I've heard a lot of people say it. I don't know if this is what coaches want to hear, or at least they don't want to admit. But the path to the top of the ACC is easier. It is. Here's why. There's no Ohio State. I mean,
Mhm.
even if you're Michigan, right? Even if you're Southern California or Oregon, or hell now with what Indiana's doing, there's no Ohio State in the ACC. Clemson is not
Nope.
Ohio State. Florida State is not Ohio State. Miami is not Ohio State. Clemson got close for a couple of years, but now Clemson's in a spot where they have lost at least 4 games for I think 4 consecutive seasons. Um, Ohio State doesn't do that, and I'm not. That's not about Clemson or whatever. It's just the path to the top of the ACC is a little bit easier. Okay, sure. I think it is. There's no Bama in
Mm-mm. Yeah.
the Atlantic Coast Conference either.
Nope.
So and Virginia Tech loves football. James Franklin knows the area. Uh, my question is, what's the what's the word I want to look for here? What's the grace period? What's the honeymoon period? Is it just a season? I mean, are they going to expect in a portal era and with a 200 plus billion infusion of cash into athletics that by year two they're a top 10 team, kind of where Miami and Georgia Tech are right now, competing for not only the playoff but really contending for something bigger?
Yeah, that's a hell of a question. I like it because my first thought is, well, they have been straying in the wilderness since Frank Beamer left, right? I mean, they had a
Yeah,
one
almost
10
10
win
years
year
now.
with Justin Fuente had that 110 win season, but then all of a sudden he just went sideways, and obviously it just hasn't worked. You're right; it's been about 10 years since Coach Beamer left, and so I think that you get a guy with that resume of Franklin. I think there, especially with the money you're infusing, and you look at his record, you're expecting like instant improvement, right? I'm not saying that's the right way to think, but I think the knee jerk by a lot of fans, especially today, Jay, is well, this guy, look what he did at Penn State, look what he did at Vandy. Bang, we're going to be winning 8 or 9 next year at Virginia Tech. I don't. If it's me as a fan, I'm going to give the guy a year to get his feet settled, right? I
Right.
know you can do things a lot quicker now, and I know there's going to be expectation on Franklin because of his record. I think I can't believe I'm saying only a year, but I think a bare minimum, a realistic expectation is give him a year to get used to Blacksburg, find out where the Piggly Wiggly is, and everything else, and then in year two, if you want to ramp up your expectations, say, okay, man, you've been here a year, you got to lay the land. We gave you 1 year to kind of figure this thing out. Now let's go. It's the ACC. You should be able to jump up in this pretty fast. You got to give him at least a year to get settled. I would, but I think there's going to be a lot of expectation on him because of basically the resume he's bringing in with him to Blacksburg.
Yeah, I think year 2, they ramp it up, but even next year, I would imagine they're gonna say, "Well, you're gonna get us to a bowl game, right?" And they're not gonna
Right, right,
fire him
right.
if he doesn't, but
No, but hey, think about this. If I sat here and you and I were sober, which we hardly ever are when we're together, did that slip out? Did I let that get out?
nope.
Anyway,
I
um, I mean, if you and I were sitting around just yapping, and this was a couple years ago, right? Let's say 5 years ago, and I said to you, there will be a guy who gets to the Final Four of the college football playoff and is a play or two away from winning that game and playing for the national championship. And the next season, he'll be fired before the halfway point of that year. You would laugh at me and say, I'm a, right?
yeah, yeah.
What happened? What just happened?
Well,
That's the world we
yeah,
live in now,
right,
right? I
right,
mean, it's
right.
craziness, the world we live in. And you and I are trying to be safe and say, look, give Franklin a year to make a bowl. I think he will his first year at Blacksburg. And then you see year two, you start to ramp up. The ACC is not, that's not tough terrain, but it's just everything that I've ever thought. I won't lie to you. All of my thought process of patience and taking your time and letting things evolve a little bit, not being knee jerk. That's all going to hell, man. I
Yeah,
mean, look at what happened. Look at the jobs that are open this year. Jay. Think about these blue bloods and these high level programs for all these different reasons are kicking guys to the curb. Some of them are justified, but some of them are like, wow. And these buyouts, nobody cares.
yeah, and
So
that's the thing that has a lot of fans rankled too is the buyout thing, like, no and you're right, schools are doing it all at the same time. "Oh, we don't have enough money." Yeah,
yeah,
I think you do. I think you do.
yeah, you do. Yes, you
Yeah,
do.
you got enough
Uh-huh.
money, otherwise you're not
Absolutely.
doing it.
So I guess to answer your question, I think if you're patient and sane, yeah, you expect to get to the bowl game because James Franklin goes to bowl games at the very least. But I mean, give the guy a year just to get settled and kind of. I mean, again, just to get himself just. He's in a whole different place. And
Yep,
I think in year two, if you want to ramp up your expectations, say, okay, the ACC is kind of wrecked right now. You should be able to make your way up pretty quick. But you think the guy's going to hit the ground running, all of a sudden you're in the college football playoff, and so there are going to be some fans that think that way. I think that's a little crazy. But look, we're in a time now where crazy's the norm, man.
fair, and it's gonna be that way, I think, for a little while longer. Come back on the other side. Shane Beamer has spoken ahead of the Coastal game. Some reflection on last week, most of it looking ahead, and a lot of it as well is the mental state of his ball club at this point. We'll get into what Coach Beamer had to say when the postgame show comes back. 19 minutes after 4 o'clock here on this Tuesday, Brews Day edition of the program. Thanks once again to our good friend Ryan Brewer for hanging out with us here on this Tuesday. Terry is at White Brown Smiles, 224 O'Neill Court. And before we do anything else, Mr. Ford, remind everybody why you are where you are this afternoon.
We are hanging out here because, like, obviously, November is National Hunger Awareness Month. We've got Thanksgiving. We're moving to the holiday season, and this year, I mean, look, every year there are folks who have challenges when it comes to feeding their family, and this year feels like there's even more of a crisis and issue for hunger in the Middle East in our country. And so we're trying to do here during the month of November is we're doing some different spots. Last week we were in West Columbia. Today we are here at Brown White Smiles right here on right off the two notch on 224 Lake Court, and to stop the non-perishable food items, whatever you can bring us, whether it's just a little bit, it's a lot, whatever you can do, it's much appreciated. We'll be here till 6. They're taking in non-perishable food items all the time here at Brown White Smiles. So feel free to stop by while we're here, or just come by any time during the day when they are open. And again, it's greatly appreciated.
Stuff. All right, Coach Beamer speaking today, and we've, Terry, you especially, many others. There was a lot about it today in the press conference on leadership. I know Chris and West, the guys at Gamecock Central, have had thoughts on maybe how to address certain leadership and maybe team ownership issues in the off season. Well, DQ Smith is certainly one of those vocal team leaders now. Shane Beamer talked about that today and what he, DQ, has been saying to some of the younger guys on the ball club here in the recent days.
Like this. Yeah, I think they've done a great job. All of we don't have many seniors. We announced that group on Saturday. I mean, I think there's 20-something guys, but when you look at the number of guys that are starting necessarily on offense and defense, there's really not a lot offensively and defensively. So those guys, there's a lot of older guys that have been invested a lot into this program. Bradley Dunn has been here for a long time. He's not a starter on this team, but he is a valuable, critical member of this team. And I feel like he's been a fantastic leader for this team this year and having perspective and being able to share with those guys that even though you may not starting on offense or defense or whatnot, he's playing on special teams for us. You can really pour into your teammates and help them through the struggles from this season to help us be better going forward. We've got a lot of guys like that, but I feel like they have. I mean, I hate it for them. That's what breaks my heart is they sit in the front row of the team meeting room in the team meeting next door, and it hurts me that this is how their last year is going because we all wanted to send them out better than this. And it's we're going through this, but as I told them the other day, the whole team, we're going to be stronger for it. We'll be stronger as a team next season because of this, and because we don't want to feel this feeling again. And then the guys that aren't coming back, they'll, God has a plan. So while we have gone through this, yes, there's football standpoint that we can fix. Here's why we went through it. Picture wise, I hate that they're going through it, but I do know that they'll be stronger as human beings and going into life after their playing days are over because of this experience for sure. And I'm really proud of them and how they've handled it. Because if anybody, Jack asked about the mood, if anybody had the light, if you will, to go out on the practice field and be a bunch of sad boys, it's that senior class, and it's been the complete opposite. They've been awesome, and I knew they would be.
So, Terry, I think the point you've been making is well taken, and it would certainly seem that from that answer, Shane Beamer understands that perhaps in terms of on-field veteran presence, there isn't as much of it as he would like, or that some of those guys that are the more veteran guys aren't necessarily the more vocal guys. And I've talked to enough people through the years about because I'm with you, and I think most athletes feel this way. A great team is not going to be motivated consistently by its coach. I don't care what the sport is. It's going to be consistently motivated from within because there's ownership, and there's an investment. Um, maybe Shane is trying to grow that a little bit more, but it certainly seems like there's a recognition of a little bit of the void that you were talking about. But I don't know that there's a whole lot you can do about it other than allow maturity to come into play, or as you pointed out with some of the guys that you brought in last season, that those guys come in and are instant impact leaders in addition to being instant players. There is a difference.
Absolutely. Look, sometimes you're in a perfect world, your best players are also your vocal leaders, right? That's the perfect world, like the Disney movies we watch, right? Oh, that guy's a leader, he's a great player, whatever. But sometimes it doesn't work. Like last year, for an example. Remember Demetrius Knight? Everything was said the minute that dude showed up and started talking and his actions. Okay, leader. Remember that, Jay? Guy's a
Yep.
flat out leader. Debo. I will never forget sitting down with Debo at SEC Media Days year before last. Debo wanted to go hit somebody at SEC Media Days. Debo was intense. He was serious. He was like, fellas, wait till you see our defense. Remember his thing was we're going for donuts.
Yeah.
And I mean, those guys were leaders. I mean, and then you had Tonka, and on offense, you had Rocket, you had Simon, you had Vershawn Lee. I think Vershawn Lee has been there as long as Willie B. And you just had the leaders and these veterans, and you didn't need like Lenore Sellers or Dylan Stewart to be vocal guys, right? You just need those guys to go play and ball out and be the special athletes that they were, right?
Yep.
Now those are your two best players, but
Yep.
they're not vocal guys, and that's not a knock. I mean, some guys are more vocal than others. They're nice guys. They're respectful. I hear they say ma'am and sir to everybody. It's not like they're not nice guys. They're just not that vocal, get in your face alpha dog leader. They lead by example, right, Jay? They lead by
Yeah.
being game records, but they're not those alpha kind of leaders like Ryan Brewer was talking about, like you and I have been discussing. This team just doesn't seem like they have those guys that are going to get up in you, whether to motivate you or yell at you, like last year's team had. And but you need that. Just you need a few of those dudes, man. I'll never forget. I'll give you an example. We're talking about the Ravens. The Ravens, Terrell Suggs. You remember Terrell Suggs?
Sure.
Who one day will be in the Hall of Fame as edge pass rusher. Ravens Steelers don't like each other too. Terrell Suggs in a big game in Pittsburgh walked on the field pregame. All those Steelers fans in the stands drunk out of their minds. He had an F Pittsburgh shirt on. And he walked around the entire stadium staring at them. I'm not saying you need that guy, but what I'm saying is you need some dudes with some not you don't want edge like Montez Burfict, who got penalties to hurt you and lose games in Cincinnati. But you need guys who have that edge to them, right? Have that thing to them that they're the alpha, they're the leader. Or when their actions or words, everybody goes, "Okay, we're all right, man. We're with you, right?" I just don't know if you've had those guys this year. And I think it's more important than maybe we discussed coming into the year, right? We brought it up a little bit, but I just think that's a more important thing. Like when the crap's hitting the fan in College Station, and everybody's looking around, you need a guy to settle you down, right? Or a guy to
Yeah.
kick you in the backside.
Yeah.
And and I think that's the moment that really hit me in that game. You and I talked about it yesterday. That's when look, I've always said this. You don't need leaders when you're playing well, right? You don't need leaders when you're winning. You need leaders when you're losing, and you need leaders in crisis. Saturday was a crisis in the second half, my friend.
Right.
You needed some people to grab a hold of that, and it just didn't happen.
So that'll be addressed. We'll get into a few other things. Come back on the other side, though, and again, so many games South Carolina has been in the fourth quarter this season, only to see it slip away for a variety of reasons. Shane Beamer addressed that very topic, and we'll let you hear what he had to say when the postgame show comes back.
All right, let's check the traffic. A few accidents. Bush River Road at I-20. Cromer Road at US 378 there at Sunset Boulevard. Also, George Rogers Boulevard at Bluff Road right by Williams Price. I-77 westbound at Garner's Ferry, exit 9 at Sunset Boulevard near I-26. We are hanging here broadcasting live at White Brown Smiles, right off of 2 Knot. We're looking for non-perishable food items. Please bring some by. We really appreciate it. It's a little, it doesn't matter. All helps. You can bring it by any time here when they're open. We're here till 6. And we will come back here on the post-game show, and we'll get more into Shane Beamer's comments from the coach's presser earlier today on the post-game show. Terry Ford, Ed Bird, pushing the buttons on the game.
All right, welcome back in. 4:33 on a Tuesday. Jay and Terry with you. Ed at Master Control. Top of the hour headlines. More on Franklin situation. Gamecock basketball playing tonight. We'll have a little bit on that. And again, Shane Beamer has spoken. We'll have more from Shane, including that bit about fourth quarter issues. But first, let's head to the AAA phone lines. Our buddy Ernest wants to weigh in on what's going on around Carolina football. Ernest, how you doing, bud?
Hey, Jay. Hey, Gary, I talked to Preston and Elijah on Reaction Monday, and I said, watch that game. First half, you were like, yeah, go Beaver ball. The second half, I told him, I called it screamer ball, where you were screaming at the TV saying, what's going on? And then I used the analogy with a fridge. At the bottom of your fridge, you have two crisper drawers, right? Well,
Yeah.
you clean out the rock. If you don't wipe out those crisper drawers, that's going to make apples flat. So you need to go and totally clean house. When I say Shane Beamer, not wrong, but that's what it is. You need to do something because this is a trophy. He's got the same record as Muschamp, and for Muschamp to beat Clemson.
Yeah, Ernest, thanks for the call.
Thanks,
Shane
man.
beat Clemson twice. You know, Ernest, Shane had Carolina on the cusp of the playoff. I know the cusp of the playoff is not, is not the playoff. Um, and I don't think Shane's record is a whole lot different than Steve Spurrier's first 5 seasons either. I'll double check.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, go ahead, man. No, you're good. Go ahead. You're on a roll. Go for it.
Yeah, I think from it starts with, all that stuff to me starts in the off season, January, February, all the things you're doing in the wintertime, in the summertime, you're building that mental toughness, that physical toughness for the fourth quarter, especially in this league where, it's going to be a dogfight every single week. It starts with from a physical standpoint, making sure that you're fresh mentally and physically as you get into the fourth quarter, that your bodies are in position to go be at your best. And that's what the preparation that you have during the week, how you're taking care of your body. And then during the game, talked about it with our coaches on Saturday, it was 80 degrees out in Texas. We got to play our players and keep them fresh so we're fresh and at our best as we go into the fourth quarter. So all of that is really important. And then when you get into it, I think everything is magnified. Got to make plays and gotta execute, and that falls back on us as coaches. It starts with us in regards to putting our players in position to execute, but then whether it be, uh, you know, A&M, Ole Miss, Alabama, all LSU, all games in the fourth quarter that we had opportunities to win, and we didn't get it done. There were plays where just frankly, we didn't execute. Uh, Little touchdown pass to the running back out of the backfield against Alabama. We didn't execute, and the two long touchdown passes that they had in the fourth quarter, we didn't execute. And some plays that we missed in the passing game on offense, we didn't execute. And this is me sitting here blaming the players, oh, they didn't do their jobs. I'm not saying that at all. It falls back on me and it falls back on us as coaches. But I think everything is magnified in the fourth quarter, and that's why I was 3 minutes late. I wasn't fighting Clayton. I was meeting with our leadership group, and that's what we were talking about. Just in the fourth quarter, you got to make plays. And it's you guys, particularly in this room, this leadership group, has got to go, lead us, make plays. And I'm not saying they didn't. A lot of those guys made a lot of great plays on Saturday. We got to make more of them. And as coaches, we've got to and crunch moments like that, we've got to do a better job of putting our players in position to make those plays, coaching them up throughout the week. So when those times come, we make them, and that'll be certainly something. I mean, we always do it in the off season in regards to the weight room and the off season program, but yeah, that'll be a big point of emphasis next year as we go into the season in regards to continuing to put our players in even more adverse situations where they got to communicate and be detailed at the end of weight workouts, winter workouts, all that stuff like we do in the offseason.
For getting into an interaction, nobody was touching anybody. They just went back and forth with words. Got into an interaction with local or nay, NBA players are way too thin-skinned today.
Look, I don't know what was said, but I will say that there are a lot of fans these days who believe that players out there, especially NBA games, where the proximity is so tight that they can just say whatever they want because they bought a ticket. I think there's responsibility on both sides. So I don't. I mean, Draymond
Let me
doesn't
give you the
seem like
context. I'll give you the context of this really quick.
all right.
Green had a couple possessions in the first quarter where he had several offensive rebounds. He missed the follow. He just rebound, missed the follow. Like in the old days, we used to shoot, that was Moses Malone pad in the stats.
Okay.
The fan yelled Angel Reese at Green because that's kind of what they say she does in the WNBA. She misses bunnies, gets a rebound, misses a bunny, gets a rebound, then makes a shot.
Yeah.
And so the fan yelled Angel Reese, kept doing it over and over again. And finally, the first time Green kind of smiled, but after a while, Green was like, okay, basically, hey, dude, enough. That's what it was.
Yeah, you probably got to leave it alone. But again, some people are just really obnoxious, and I can appreciate why a player may have had enough. So
Well, that one for me personally,
I'm gonna nay this one. I'm gonna nay this one.
I think there are some things to do as a player, but there's a line as a fan. You would, if you would say it to somebody like in front of them in real life, you probably shouldn't say it to somebody in the game. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna nay that. I'm gonna nay that.
All right, I got one more for you really quick. LeBron James,
real
Steph Curry, both are out of the 28 Olympics. Are you someone that says, Jay or nay, NBA players need to be in the Olympics? We got to win gold medals.
Well, I mean, those dudes are getting kind of old, man, and they gave us a lot last summer. So I'm good. I'm good with them saying our Olympic
No, I
time
mean,
has
I
come.
mean NBA players in general. Forget college players. You got to have
Oh no,
NBA
you need.
players
Oh
in
no,
the
you need NBA. Oh yeah, you need NBA guys for sure. Yeah. You need NBA guys.
Okay. Oh, another look at the traffic in the Midlands for the afternoon. We have a few accidents, not many. We have a couple. Augusta Road near Oak Drive at St. David's Church. Bush River Road at I-20. George Rogers Boulevard at Bluff. I-77 southbound at Garner's Ferry exit 9. Sunset Boulevard near I-26 at West Hospital Drive. Stop and go traffic, by the way. I-20 westbound between Farrow Road exit 72 and Monticello Road exit 68. Coming up, we have the 5 o'clock news from Integrated Media here on the Postgame Show. Jerry Phillips, Ed Bird. We are broadcasting live at White Brown Smiles. Stop, bring us some non-perishable food items if you can. It would be greatly appreciated.
It is 5 o'clock news time on this Tuesday. Welcome back in. It's also the final hour of the post-game show. I'm Philip Edward at Master Control. Tuesdays during football season means Shane Beamer speaks ahead of the upcoming game. Coastal, this week's opponent, Carolina, heavy favorites, better than 3 touchdowns and a better than 94% chance to win the ball game, according to the ESPN computers. But most fans around here still trying to shake off the ugliness and disappointment of Saturday afternoon's loss in College Station, where, of course, the Gamecocks held a 27-point halftime lead, only to lose the game by 1 to the number 3 Aggies, who might actually be the number 2 Aggies tonight. We'll see. The CFP comes out in just a little bit. But in the meantime, Coach Beamer was asked today, with all the chatter, can you really ignore it in today's world?
If I don't look at my phone, it is, which I've tried to do a great job. Bless you, which I've tried to do a great job of doing, and I'm checking some NFL scores on Sunday, and I like reading Cole Kublik's takeaways each week. I think he does a pretty good job and kind of an understanding of what's going on in the SEC. So I did click on it to look at that. Um, I'll be honest with you, the rumor that started yesterday about Clayton and I had no idea. I walked into the staff room yesterday at 4 o'clock and it sits up in everybody's kind of looking at me funny, looking at me. Clayton sits next to me. I could just sense there was something in the air, and they informed me what was out there on social media about that. But yeah, I feel like I can, because my responsibility, David, is to the coaches and players and staff in this building and being the best version of myself for them, to allow us to go be the best version of ourselves on Saturday. And be typing in my name on social media is not going to do a lot of good. I know that, win or lose. So for me, yeah, I can. Now, when this thing's going off and praying for you, stay strong, all those text messages, it's a pretty good. I have an idea of what the narrative may be out there, and that's okay. I love it. I love being in the SEC, and you have passionate fans that expect better, and we're going to deliver better here going forward. Easier said for me than it is the players, because the players, we just finished practice and now they're off to class. We don't see them again until tomorrow morning, so it's easier said for me than them. But it's just part of it, and social media is a different aspect of it that coaches didn't have to deal with years ago, and it's a different thing now. Everybody's got a voice, and everybody gets clicks by being negative, and I understand that. But I also know that there's perception and then there's reality, and I try and focus on the reality of what the mindset is in this building, and try to help these men and women be better.
So there you go. Listen, believe what you want to believe in terms of how much any of us can ignore everything on social media. And you can't. By the way, as a quick aside, there was a rumor that yesterday or earlier today, perhaps, Shane and Clayton got into some kind of altercation. By all accounts, not true. and that it did start on social media. Shane even went so far, and there is an answer about this, I think, but we won't play it right now. But Terry went so far as to say that Shane, knew that several media members were texting some of their sources within the program to try and find out, and that the staff and I guess players are probably used as sources too from time to time. Uh, all got a big kick out of that. So they all knew that it
Yeah.
wasn't true, but somehow, some way, somebody decided to start that. So it goes to show you, what you can and can't believe, or should and shouldn't believe from time to time. But in terms of
Yeah.
the chatter, we've all said this before. Look, there are plenty of uh, rational people on Twitter, on message boards, but there are probably a significantly larger number, especially immediately after games like that one, that are not. Um, and you can't use social media, especially Twitter, as a true gauge of the mood of an entire fan base. You can because by and large, and this isn't unique to Carolina football. Trust me, as all of you know this. Twitter has become a very, my words now, a very vile place with angry people using Twitter as much as anything to simply vent their frustrations with their lives, whether it's sports, politics. They don't like a song from their new favorite, or a new song from their favorite artists. They don't like a sequel to a movie. They don't like their grandma's squash casserole at Thanksgiving, and they go on Twitter and they complain about it, man.
Grandma sucks. What the hell's wrong
Yeah,
with you?
yeah. So I mean, you know, I don't know that you can really use that as the primary gauge of what's going on. Again,
No.
there are definitely, you have to sift through, in my opinion, and trust me, I've done this enough in my life and in my career. You have to sift through and find the people, because with all kinds of fan bases, Gary, you know this. I don't care. Again, professional sports, college sports, hell, high school sports. I'm sure in some areas, fire everybody. The second it doesn't work, fire everybody. Hell, there's a funny Dr. Pepper commercial running right now
Right.
about the hot
So
seat,
good.
and they're
Fansville.
like, yeah, and the coach comes out, they're like, we didn't win by enough, you know, and so I mean, that's the world we live
Yeah, it is, man. And look, this is a few years ago. I decided back in my just hosting days, I got tired of hearing about the Twitterverse and the Twitter sphere and what Twitter thinks and Twitter this. Our me- Twitter works great for our media, for sports. It's quick words. It's little like people who cover things can get out information, things of that nature. Twitter just works really well for sports radio and sports media. Right? It just does.
in.
It's easy. It fits. Well, one day I said, you know what? How big is this Twitterverse and Twitter world, Jay? And I found out something with research. 22 people in this country have an active Twitter account. 22%.
Yeah,
22% of people in this country. 22%. That's a lot lower than a majority. 70 some percent have Facebook. 70 some percent roughly have Instagram. 22% of the people in this country are actively on Twitter. That's not a first, Jay. That's not a world. So for us to take Twitter as anything that really matters in a grand population scheme, no, it's not. And you're right. Twitter's full of angry people who don't have jobs or girlfriends or lives or hobbies or boyfriends, whatever. But here's my thing. So what the people when the media asked Shane about it, Shane's really not my concern because again, like he said, I can put my phone down, I can put it away, I can put it in a drawer. I lived in a world before social media. I'm okay. My thing is the players. They've grown up on this, right? I have two.
yeah,
You've got kids in college. I've got kids in college. These are college kids. I know my my two youngest. They live on that stuff at times. They're looking at they're not on it 24/7, but they're on it. They're on Instagram mostly, and they look at social media a lot. my youngest is into the NBA and English Premier League soccer, and he's starting to kind of get a little NFL itch. You know where he's learning? He's learning on like YouTube or social media stuff, follow people who cover this. So these guys, the players are the ones that concern me. There's that loss, right? Yeah, people are going after Shane Beamer and coaching staff and all that. There are, I guarantee you, people going after the players. Remember,
Oh,
remember
yeah, sure.
Lenore Sellers. Remember Lenore Sellers after the Old Dominion game last year, his first start. People were going after him on social media, and he went to his coaching staff saying it was bothering him. These are look, they play, they make money, but they're still young. They're young adults. And they're going to look at getting crushed on social media. How do you handle that? Some can handle it better than others. That's my concern, Jay, about a game like that. It's not about the coaching staff, it's about the players and how social media negativity will affect them moving forward this week.
I would just urge all those guys, however best you can, set your accounts private and move on from there.
Absolutely.
But anyway, we'll have
Absolutely.
more from Shane coming up in the Gamecock Notebook in just a few. Meantime, South Carolina men's basketball back at it tonight as we continue our integrated media headlines of the day. Mont Paris's ball club hosting Bradford at 7 o'clock. We'll have coverage for you beginning at 6:30, so just over an hour from now. Derek Scott, Judge Casey Manning, South Carolina 3-0 on the young season, a 91% chance to win this ball game tonight against Radford. And after that, South Carolina will be making their way up to the Greenbrier for ball games against a couple of big conference opponents. Butler out of the Big East, that'll be this weekend, and then Northwestern out of the Big Ten. So that's what's coming up here in the next week or so for South Carolina. But first things first, Radford tonight at 7 o'clock over at CLA. Continuing our integrated media headlines, again, I think this is worthy of the news and not just around the SEC. Lane Kiffin today made an appearance on the Pat McAfee show and was asked about whether or not an ultimatum had been delivered by the Ole Miss administration on Lane's future in Oxford. He said, quote, "That's absolutely not true. There has been no ultimatum, anything like that at all. And so I don't know where that came from. Like a lot of stuff that comes out there. Like I said, man, we're having a blast, and I love it here." End quote on the McAfee show. Now, while there may not be an ultimatum, multiple sources, and Andy Staples had a piece on this earlier, and now Pete Thamel is reporting this too, that there at least has been, Terry, an urgency presented to Lane Kiffin from the Ole Miss brass, and that Keith Carter, who apparently Lane says he was doing yoga with this, that's the AD, that Keith Carter has asked for Kiffin to reach a decision on his coaching future by this weekend. Mississippi does not play this weekend. They have the Egg Bowl next week. So, Terry, maybe not an ultimatum, but I can understand why Ole Miss is anxious about this. My question would be, what if Lane tells you he's going to take another job? Are you going to go into the college football playoff? Because Mississippi's getting in. They got their 10th win, and I think they're going to beat State. Now, if this makes it collapse, they just turn it from an Ole Miss home game to a road game. But I really don't know that there's a scenario where there will not be a Mississippi team in this playoff. So what are you going to do if you're Keith Carter and Lane says, "I'm going to Florida," or "I'm going to LSU"?
Look, first of all, this is because of a clunky calendar, right? This is just the world we live in college athletics. It's a business. Oh no, it's not. It's college athletics. It's a business. It's college athletics. To have a coach actually have to leave his team in the college football playoff to go take another job is asinine and ridiculous. Let's just call it what it is. And to try to make that guy do that is asinine and ridiculous. Lane Kiffin should coach this team to the very end. Flat out, full stop. And look, if you're Ole Miss, I get you, man. You want to know what's up. But at the end of the day, you have no juice here. You have no leverage. Your head coach has all the leverage and the juice. All you can do is And I've read this today. They said that they will match any offer he gets from LSU, Florida, or anybody. They will match it. That's all you can do, Jay. You can only present the best offer and the best environment you can present to Lane Kiffin. You've given Lane Kiffin everything he's wanted over the last 4 or 5 years, right?
Yep.
How many times have you increased his contract? The Grove Collective has gone above and beyond what the team should be in Mississippi to give Lane Kiffin money to put together the best football team he can. You in Oxford have done everything you can. That's all you can do. Ultimatums and asking and all this, that's not doing anything for you. You have to have a plan in place. If he leaves, you better have a plan B and a plan C and a plan D. And a plan E. And if he
Yeah.
goes, now you go into it. You don't sit there and ask him to give you his, you know, his decisions. You don't do any of that. Because really, to me, you're in the catbird seat. If Lane Kiffin wants to leave a wonderful situation to scratch his ego at LSU or Florida, there's nothing you at Ole Miss can do about it. Let him go. Feel free to go back into all that lane. Have fun, baby. You don't, or you forgot about the Hornets nest in Tennessee. You forgot about getting fired on the tarmac in Southern Cal. Go on back to those pressure cookers, right? All
Yep.
you can do, Jay, is what they've done at Ole Miss to give him the best possible place. If you want to go play the ego game, you have to let him. But asking him and bugging him, don't. You got no juice. Just let it play out. That's me, man.
That's our integrated media headlines of the day. The Gamecock Notebook. More from Shane coming up.
I think those guys have done a great job of being consistent and helping our guys through this and staying even keeled and poised, just leading the way from a work ethic standpoint and coming to work every day in this building with the right mindset. And it's a lot of them, a lot of those guys that will be walking through senior day ceremonies on Saturday, a good bit of that group. Really talented, younger players that have stepped up in roles. I'm sure you pay attention to who our captains are each and every week. That's a pretty good example of who we feel like the leaders have been on the team each year or each week.
Shane Beamer multiple times today addressing some of the leadership issues, whether there is enough of it or a void here or there, or whether it comes and goes, but says that we've got him. Had a longer answer we played earlier in the show about that very topic, but this weekend they will honor the seniors in addition to the annual honoring of the military. So a lot of reasons beyond just the football to head out to Williams-Brice on Saturday afternoon to get a 4:15 kick. Carolina with a better than 94% chance to win the ball game. Welcome back in, Jay Phillips and Terry Ford with you. One more time, since a lot of you get in the car, Terry is at White Brown Smiles on O'Neill Court out in the lower areas of Northeast Columbia, I'll call it. Not all the way out Northeast. It's almost in town these days where you are compared to when I was a kid. But nevertheless, sir, tell everybody why you're out there.
If it got me fired up. I had to relax. I'm good now. We are at White Brown Smiles right here off of O'Neill Court. Just say Notch O'Neill or Jay better than I do. He'll give you 50 different ways to get here.
Well, you can go, no, only two ways. You can either get from Park Lane or Two Notch, your choice, but you can get there both ways.
And we are sitting here till 6, but White Brown Smiles obviously open all week long, and you can bring non-perishable food items. And whatever you want to bring, as much or as little you can contribute is greatly appreciated. And you can bring it here when they are open during the day. I think they're closing shortly, obviously, for the day. But bring non-perishable food items out. We appreciate that anytime. It's Hunger Awareness Month, and we do what we can for the folks who need it here in the Midlands.
Good stuff, sir. Did you get your teeth checked while you were there?
All 4 of them? Yeah. They're good. All 4 of them. They're great.
Yeah.
Strong. They're strong. You know what?
We know.
I think that takes it really quick. Whenever I go to the dentist, because I have one little spot like in the back. I always want to put one of those fancy new teeth in there.
Yeah.
When they say drilling and we have to operate on it and drill and it's permanent and it's this or that and it's made out of like a and I don't know cement and all. I don't want all that in my mouth.
Okay. Well, it could be. I don't want you to have problems later. They don't either. I just went through a root canal, man. All the crap I'm going through, and I had to get a root canal too.
I love you deeply, and I obviously what you're going through is a lot of stuff. But a root canal too. It just never does for a couple of days. Every time I talk to you, there was something new.
Yeah, I know. I don't know who I hacked off. But anyway.
Anyway, go ahead.
The Gamecock football team hacked off a lot of people. We know the mood of the fan base is not good, but Shane Beamer speaking today and was asked about the mood of his ball club. Here's what he had to say.
Yeah, I've been proud of them, Jack. I think early on Saturday in the aftermath, quiet plane ride home, as you can imagine. That was a quiet Sunday during meetings. I think there was very much a sense of what just happened. I think we all feel that way. And then you look at the tape on Sunday, and we're really able to dive into it. Let's give A&M some credit for the way that their quarterback and their team played in the second half. And simply, did not play well enough or coach well enough in the second half. So we watched that tape on Saturday. But like always, and I know people don't want to hear it, and I really don't care, we went out on Sunday night, had an awesome practice. And our guys responded just like I knew we would respond, because as we talked about as a team in our team meeting on Sunday, our foundation is really strong. Our foundation is really powerful. Our culture is really strong. Our culture is really powerful. And that has been on display week in, week out, because if you don't have that, we're not in the competitive games like we've been in throughout the season. I get it. I'm not in moral victories. I'm not, having to how hard we play. We're into winning football games, and we haven't done it. I fully understand that. But I told our players Sunday night I knew they would respond that way. We had a spirited practice, energetic practice. We always do a young guys scrimmage at the end of practice on Sunday nights where the young guys that don't play, they or haven't played as much, they get out there and play. We let the players they're basically the coaches. So I love seeing DQ Smith and Gerald Kilgore put on headphones. They're calling the defense during the scrimmage and going at it and supporting their teammates. And then yesterday was the off day, and then we came back in here this morning and had a really energetic and strong, powerful practice today. So they responded like I knew they would. Disappointed, no question about it. Uh, Sad in a lot of ways because we've only got 11 days left with this group, and no one's happy about that, but very motivated to go finish this thing out the right way and have an opportunity to once again put what we're about on display Saturday. Because I know the narrative is sure it's how is South Carolina going to come back from this? How is South Carolina respond? And we get an opportunity on Saturday to show that.
And Terry, that's it. And we asked Ryan Brewer that earlier. I asked, in fact, we asked him, I think, that a couple of times, but we closed out our hour with him earlier by asking him that very thing. What do you want to see Saturday? And it's, immediate intensity, start to finish intensity. And, I think Shane deserves the benefit of the doubt when it comes to giving us an explanation of where his team is. And, I don't want to say he was defiant in that answer, but saying, I know some people don't want to hear it or may not believe it, but we did go out and have a good practice because these guys believe in what we're doing and what they're doing. And that's one of the reasons that I have believed that Shane deserves an opportunity to continue to fix what is ailing this program, because I think there is a huge buy-in that was not present, Terry, was not present at the end of his predecessor's that team did not like playing football here anymore by and large. Not, it wasn't good. There's a reason you made an in-season change. I don't get that sense. And I knew a lot of people that were within that program. I know people that are now within the program under Shane. And I do think there's a different vibe. Results still matter. And that's why I told you yesterday, I think you need to go win both of these for this fan base to feel good again about the offseason. But I think Shane deserves the benefit of the doubt when he tells us that his guys can go out there and play hard and play well and play inspired football. Because by and large, we've seen that even when they've been smacked around. And let's face it, what happened Saturday in the second half was hard to take.
Yeah, and that look, one thing, and I know again, results are results. You haven't won a game since what, September 28th, and that's obviously a huge problem. But I'll say this real quick. Um, these guys still play hard, and they still look. They love their coach. They play hard. What happened in the second half against A&M wasn't because guys were lollygagging. It's just that wasn't it. We don't have time to go into all of it. That wasn't it. It's so they're still, like you said, Jay, they're still into playing for Shane Beamer. Do they have to play better? Yeah. Does she have to get better players? Sure. Do they have to coach better? Yeah. But I think they're still engaged in the program when it comes to playing for Beamer and South Carolina.
I agree. So again, we'll have plenty more on the Gamecocks and the Chanticleers throughout the week. That's our Gamecock Notebook drive around the SEC. Palmetto Propane is a family-owned company delivering propane to homes and businesses across the Midlands. 65 years, expert installation, exceptional service. They're proud to be South Carolina's leading propane and fuel provider. So whether you need energy-efficient propane appliances for your home, like a brand new Renai tankless water heater, get one. Thank you later. Or you want to switch from a wood-burning fireplace to a gas fireplace, or you want great fire outside, they can get it all done for you at Palmetto Propane. Speaking of which, stop in to the Palmetto Propane Hearth and Patio home stores and see the area's finest gas logs. Again, see it, feel it. Remember those ones from back in the day? At least those of you of a certain age, you're like, yeah, that's fake. Those look good. No, they don't have that at Palmetto Propane. A whole lot better now. Fire features, grills, and accessories. Find a location near you when you log on to Palmetto Propane.
All right, checking what's going on the roads right now. A few accidents. Augusta Road near Oak Drive at Church Road. Also, Highway 262 near Lower Richland Boulevard, I-26 westbound between Sunset Boulevard, exit 110, St. Andrews Road, exit 106. Slow traffic. 77 northbound between Governor's Ferry Road and Forest Drive. That's between exits 9 and 12. We'll come back, drive around the SEC. Get caught up what's happening in the Southeastern Conference. That's next. We're on the Postgame Show. Terry Ford, hang out here at White Brown Smiles. If you have non-perishable food items, please bring them. Help us out during our Food Awareness Hunger Month.
All right, it is Drive Around the SEC time on this Tuesday. Welcome back in. Jay and Terry with you. We mentioned it in the top of the hour news about Lane Kiffin, but we'll repeat some of that for you here. Multiple reports suggest that members of Lane Kiffin's family, Sunday and Monday, Lane himself did not, according to these reports. But Lane's family, I guess that's wife, kids, maybe some others, flew to both Gainesville and Baton Rouge just to see the lay of the land. I imagine that most of them had been there at some point for games, Terry, whether it was when Lane was an assistant in Alabama or during his years now as the head coach at Mississippi. They've been to both places for games at both stops along the way, so they've seen it. Maybe this is a different little view, or hey, here's a neighborhood, here's the local steakhouse, or hey, in Baton Rouge, here's the governor's mansion.
I was getting ready to say, you want to meet your boss, the governor?
But Lane did not. There were also reports that Keith Carter, the AD, and other brass at Ole Miss had given Lane an ultimatum, like you will decide your future by the end of the week, or if not, we're moving on, or something to that effect. Lane went on Pat McAfee today and said, nope, there's no ultimatum. But there are still lingering reports, Terry, that there's a deadline. I know you mentioned it a little bit earlier, and I'm pretty much with you on this. Again, I don't know what good it would do for Mississippi to have some kind of deadline that you set that's arbitrary when you know you're going to the college football playoff. At least I think that, I mean, did I last see? I think it was a 96% chance that they're going to the playoff. I'm not really sure what scenarios at this point keep Ole Miss out of the playoff. Certainly, you'd have to lose the Egg Bowl, but even then, you're 10-2. So again, is there a chance? Yeah, but overwhelmingly at this point, the odds are in your favor. You're going to the playoff. You're probably getting a home game. Trust me, if they beat Mississippi State, they're 11-1. They're getting a home game. So, do you want to do that with an interim coach? I'm not. So, look, I'm not saying it's all made up, and I can understand that they're anxious, but if I'm Lane, I've got to check every box, and I've got to see what my family thinks. Is this what we want? Because more than likely, Terry, whatever he decides this time at age 50, more than likely, as I say, is probably the last gig that he takes. So he's either going to stay at Ole Miss for the long haul and go like 15 years or something, God willing, or he's going to take a job that he thinks he'll be somewhere for 10 or 12 more years. And then in his early 60s, Lane Kiffin can make a lot of money on television or something like that.
Absolutely.
Wherever the television landscape takes us, somewhere around 2040. But,
I'm with you.
So check the boxes. I got no problem with this.
No, I don't either. If I'm Ole Miss, and this is just me. I'm like, look, hey man, go take a look at everything. Fly your whole family to Gainesville. Take off to Baton Rouge. Whatever. As a matter of fact, you can fly Rebel One. We don't care. Go look around, look at your options, kick all the tires, come back here, tell us what you see and hear, and then let's sit down and talk. We're confident we're the best place for you. We've been a great place for you. We can continue going down this road, but go look because again, you've got options. Go investigate. And I mean, what the hell, right? And to me too, Jay, the fact he's going to Baton Rouge and Gainesville tells me he hasn't zeroed in on either one. It tells me that he's kind of so. To me, if I'm Ole Miss, I'm feeling even better. Right? I might even do like you said as a joke. Are you going to go to Baton Rouge? Good. Stop by the governor's office. That is your real boss. And so anyway, I just think that before it's all said and done, Lane Kiffin has every right to check and investigate all of his opportunities. Now, I think he stays at Ole Miss, and if it were me, I'd stay at Ole Miss. I would do what they're doing, but I would stay at Ole Miss. I just think everything is the smart thing for him to stay there. Look what he's built. They love him. He's a god there. It's his program. Most of these people weren't alive the last time Ole Miss was good at this level, right, Jay?
Right.
So,
all right.
I just think you've got everything you want. You've already done the ego trip at Southern Cal and Tennessee. I just think that's the best. But if he wants to go and jump into the craziness of Florida or LSU, go get him. I mean, he could possibly win national championships in all three places, Jay. Before it's all said and done, he's that good. But I don't have a problem with him kicking the tires either. I think you do your due diligence. You got options, right?
I think so. I think so. And so we'll see. I'm with you. The gut seems to lead us to believe that he may actually hang around. But who knows?
Yeah.
It's not. I don't think it's his salary that he's concerned about.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. I think it's about everything about the program. You know, eh, eh, can he recruit that kind of talent to Oxford on a consistent basis in order to keep Mississippi in a championship level hunt year after year? And that is it's a big ask. It is a big ask, but I think he's the
And
kind
I
of
mean,
guy that can do it.
we know at LSU and Florida have more resources. We know that. We get it. We understand. They got more money. They got more everything. But Ole Miss has, man, they've squeezed every penny out of that Grove Collective, dude. They're shaking couch cushions, right, to make
Yeah,
sure they got NIL money. But let me ask you this though: they're going to go
they're
to the college
selling like
football playoff.
original William Faulkner. They're selling first edition Faulkners out of the library.
Can you see all these empty spaces where it used to have stuff? Let me ask
They're
you
like,
this.
"Where's the Faulkner collection? See that linebacker?
Let's get
You
right
see that
to it.
receiver?
You see that edge rusher that got 2 sacks? Well, there's your
Yeah,
Faulkner right there. How
yeah.
much goodwill has Lane Kiffin bought by being in the college football playoff this year in Oxford? How many years of goodwill do you think he's bought?
5,
Yeah. How many years of goodwill do you buy at LSU or Florida for making the college football playoff? Just making it.
5 months.
You beat me after 5 weeks. Uh, so that's another thing. If I'm Lane Kiffin,
Well,
I'm
only because
thinking
the off
about.
season's about 5 months. That's all. You get the off season, whatever that is.
So that's another thing. If I'm Lane Kiffin, I'm thinking about that. Just
Yeah,
saying.
yeah. We'll get into this tomorrow, but a good piece from Matt Hayes on maybe this being the last cupcake weekend in the SEC. That's kind of the nickname of it. There are 4 conference games. Um, Tennessee, Florida this weekend, and usually that's a good game. This year, not so much. Missouri and Oklahoma, Terry, there's a little something there. Arkansas at Texas. Texas just can't lose. And UK at Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt gets a win, and then all of a sudden sets up that Tennessee game as one heck of a story. So there's a little bit. That's the only 4
A little
conference games.
something. That's a little something. I mean, the Missouri Oklahoma game would be better if Prabula, the Missouri quarterback, was healthy. That would be a
Yep.
really fun game then. And look, you're right. Vanderbilt's got to find a way not to overlook Kentucky because you can't screw that one up. And if you beat Kentucky, which you should, then you get a chance to take out your rival. They might not look at you as a rival, but your rival. And if you can take them out, you might be in the college football playoff while your rival's sitting at home watching you play. How cool would that
Yeah,
be?
that would be remarkable if it was Vandy and not Tennessee in the playoff, considering he was there last year. But we'll have more on this because it's an interesting story with a bigger topic that we can discuss this week. But it could be the last one considering the SEC goes to a 9-game conference slate next season. That's our drive around the SEC. We'll give you our start bench drop on today and a little Jay versus the internet on the other side of the postgame show. All right, we'll get to me versus the internet. I know there was one yesterday that I did get right that I was very proud of, mainly because I stayed up to watch that dadgum Monday Night Football game last night. But I did that for my wife. She was very happy last night. She even clapped a couple of times.
No way.
She did. She clapped a couple of times.
You know,
She's like,
you
"Hey,
remember when
she knows there's still 4, 5, and 1, but she's like,
you
hey,
know,
winning is better than losing."
you know what's sad? Back when Cowboy fans only clapped during the playoffs because they were so good.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I'm not going to answer. I plead the fifth on that one, and I'll move on. Again, I'm happy for my wife. Yeah, my team has already beaten my wife's team once this season, so they won't meet again unless it's Super Bowl.
Right.
So, although there are times, even though we're both very young, when she might say, "Hey, who won that Super Bowl back in 1978?" I'd be like, "Oh."
Yeah. And then you can say,
Anyway.
how many Broncos are still on the team from that? Just saying.
Yeah,
Just saying.
Start pitch drop today. Where should, in your opinion, Lane Kiffin be coaching? I'm going to. Our choices: Florida, LSU, Mississippi. I'm going to start Mississippi. I think he should coach Ole Miss.
Mhm.
I will bench Florida, and this isn't even hard. Lane, drop LSU like a whatever bad habit, man, or
Can
worse.
I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? Before Governor before
Jeff Landry
our boy
is his name. Jeff Landry.
I was gonna give him a nickname and I stopped myself. See how
All right.
mature I've gotten? I was gonna
That's
say
nice.
something. I said, nah, I better not. Before our boy, the governor of Louisiana decided to throw up from the mouth violently over and over again. Wouldn't you have picked LSU over Florida before all this nonsense?
Yeah, yes.
Me too. I'm with you 100% on this. I am
Slightly, because both of them have dysfunction that is, to me, hard to understand.
Yeah,
You shouldn't
I
have
would
this
have.
much dysfunction at those schools.
Yeah, I agree. I would have picked LSU a little bit more ahead of Florida. Now I'm with you 100%. Ole Miss start, bench Florida, and stay the hell away from Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
No way. If I am Lane Kiffin and I watch that ridiculousness, what they did to Brian Kelly, who, by the way, no offense, Brian Kelly's resume is better than Lane Kiffin's regarding making the college football playoff or making the championship game. If they do that to that guy who's reached that level, they'll do it to anybody, right? So I'm staying away from Baton Rouge. So I'm with you. You and I agree on that one. $1 billion, man. $1
There you
billion,
go.
no doubt.
All right.
Ed, give us some millionaire music, my man. Oh, the hot seat is Jay Phillips.
Hey, by the way, do you know the one? Do you know the one I'm happy about last night?
Which one?
Over under 49.5.
Uh-huh.
I took the under, and the total was 49.
Look at you. Look at you. Man, Jay the Greek. Jay the Greek, baby.
Say about that.
All right. Maction tonight, friend. All right, Jay the Greek. We've got Maction. Yeah. Akron, Bowling Green. Akron's 4-7. Bowling Green 3-7. Bowling Green at home is a 2.5-point favorite.
Give me Bowling Green.
Nice. All right. Massachusetts, 0 for the season. Traveling to Ohio to face the Bobcats. Ohio, 34.5-point favorites.
A 34-point spread in a MAC game?
That's how bad UMass is. UMass is 0-10 or 0-6 in conference and is picked every week by Ryan McGee in the bottom 10 as the worst team in the history of the world.
Yeah, UMass, right?
Yeah, UMass.
34 points though. 30. give me UMass plus 30.
Dude, you got to take
plus
a team
30.
that's getting
Plus
34.5. You can't pass that up, right?
Gee,
you can't.
All right.
I know they're 6-4.
Not Ohio State.
No. All right. So Western Michigan at 6-4 travels to Northern Illinois. Western Michigan 6.5-point favorites. What do you got?
I want the Northern Illinois Huskies. Home dogs? Or give me the home.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can I tell you
Give me
something
the
really
home
quick?
dog. Give me the home
The
dog.
over under of Western Michigan, Northern Illinois is 39.5, only 5 points more than the line that UMass is getting.
I know that's not one of our questions, but I'll
J
take
or
the over.
nay?
I'll take the over. But
I'm
yeah, I
sitting
want
there
Northern
going,
Illinois home points.
okay. I'm going, oh my God, the over under of the game is only 5 points more than the points Ohio's giving UMass.
Yeah, again,
That's
I know.
just
Why does UMass have a football team at this level? Seriously, I mean, what do we?
know.
What do you? What's the point? It's hard enough for Boston
I don't
College to have a good team. So
It's insane.
Let's not do that. UMass.
Okay.
Drop down to D2 and enjoy the football. All right, good stuff today. Thanks to our friends at White Brown Smiles. Thanks as always to Ryan Brewer for hanging out. And good stuff from Ed Bird, keeping us straight. We'll do it all again tomorrow. See y'all.